Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Today there's just something that's been on my mind that I want to talk about, and I hope that it intrigues and piques most of all your interest. The thing I wanted to talk about today was about how people will start to show you who they are when you start requiring them to put in a little more effort than they're used to. Some people are out here in one-sided relationships, and I'm not just referring to intimate relationships. When I say one-sided relationships, when I speak of one-sided relationships, I'm literally meaning that you may have a family member, a friend, even an associate, right? Where you may be doing all the laboring. You're the one who makes sure you call, you text, and some people are just responding. And sometimes you get to a point where you understand that this person doesn't initiate contact. I'm the one who kind of generates the contact, and you start to fall back. And some people don't see that as an issue until you start to fall back. And even then, they don't even see it as an issue because they believe that you're going to still show up the way you've been showing up. I think a lot of times what happens is that when we make a shift, like when you're at a point in your life where you say, you know what, this no longer serves me, and it could be something within you, it has nothing to do with the outside world, but it may be internally where you say, you know what, there's time for something to change, and you start to shift. And unfortunately, even the shifters have an unrealistic expectation of the world. And that's true. Like, people do the shadow work and do the work and evolve and start to get to this place. They still have to check themselves because you can have an unrealistic expectation of everyone around you. Because then you start to expect them to do what you just did and shift. And then the other side of it is those other people, they have an unrealistic expectation of you too. Because what they're doing is they want you to stay the same. They may congratulate your change, but they want you to stay the same and you want them to change like you. So sometimes that shift happens and says that you no longer serve each other. And that's okay. It's absolutely okay. Because just the way each of you made that decision, you have to make another decision. And then you got to accept that decision. And sometimes people want you to accept their decision, but they still have these expectations of you. They still want you to show up a certain way, but they want you to accept the minimum out of them. And so I literally looked up some words, and not because I didn't know the definition, but it was because I feel like a lot of these words are being used so wrong and bad at this point, they're losing their meaning. Simple words, though. I'm not talking about these long words. I'm talking very simple words that are used every single day, and they're being used out of context. Therefore, certain things that should be happening aren't happening, right? And this still goes along with this whole shift that people have, or the lack thereof, right? The first word is respect. And when I looked up respect, in one sense, it kind of threw me for a loop because I was thinking of respect in the sense of I respect you for who you are, which is the definition essentially, right? Whether I agree with you or not, you're a person, you're a human being, and I just accept that, like nothing more, nothing less. But by definition, it says a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities,